synergy. Sometimes you're mentally strong, but your physical isn't right. Sometimes your mental is great, physical isn't. Physical is great, mental isn't. When you're 27, you may feel great physically, but mentally, you're just not there yet because you're 27. Islam, he feels, is at his peak right now, and he believes that he's overall better, of course. And this is the key in this quote, guys, because I saw all the titles, and it said Khabib expects to run through it. Of course, there are some potential dangers that we're working on where Islam needs to be very careful. Other than that, I believe that Islam should roll over him. Why is that quote so important? I'll circle back to it. But Charles Oliveira's on an 11-fight win streak, 10 finishes in those 11 fights. He has beaten guys like Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje, Michael Chandler, Tony Ferguson. The way that he kind of stalks these guys is like nothing I've ever seen. His opponent, on the other hand, Islam Makhachev, has won 10 in a row, 6 finishes, and has won the last 4 by finish. Guys, it's crazy because for a long time, Islam was thought to be a decision fighter. But as he has matured, those finishes are now coming. But I have to go back to that quote and tell you why that part was so important to me. Because I know intimately how dangerous the team knows that Charles do Bronx is. Even though you expect something from your guy, because why wouldn't you expect that from your guy? You expect your guy to look like a world beater every single time, especially whenever he's fighting for his first UFC championship. But you also got to be very cognizant of what's in front of you. And I think that is where Khabib is saying, I understand the dangers. So they're spending more time working on those areas where they feel there is danger. And with Charles Oliveira, there's a lot of danger. A lot of danger. Because he's fantastic off his back. He's tremendous on his feet. And his confidence level is through the roof. I saw Charles Oliveira on Instagram today walking with a white tiger. Dude's at home in Abu Dhabi. This is a hometown crowd for Islam Makhachev. This is a hometown fight for Islam. And Dude Bronx is just walking around there like he owns the place. This dude's got cojones. This dude's got big balls. He's got big balls. He ain't afraid of nobody. If you think that Charles Do Bronx Oliveira is afraid or nervous of what Islam Makhachev brings to the octagon, you're crazy. But Islam is of that same belief as Khabib, because he believes that when he's on the ground, no matter who the opponent is, he can really impose himself on them, as we saw in this fight against Thiago Moises, who I think is the closest to a Charles Oliveira type fighter with the jiu-jitsu skills, not the submission skills though. But I know, intimately, I know that in the camp, Islam's focused on all that Charles brings. And he recognizes that, very weary of that, and will be prepared for that. Does that mean he'll win the fight? I don't know. I'm telling you right now, this is the first time in a long time that I felt as unsure about a fight Islam Makhachev is going into than I am for this one this weekend. I truly believe, guys, that when we look at fights, the best fights the UFC can make right now